Welcome everybody to stop number one. We're at MotoAmerica for MotoAmerica 2020. We're at Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. And it is an excellent day for racing. Our second day of racing here in this three-day event. The one odd thing to you viewers at home watching on MotoAmerica Live Plus is with the coronavirus and all the quarantine and everything else, you'll see minimal people around the racers. Everybody taking precautions with masks, social distancing, etc. But the one thing that is still the same, you are guaranteed to see some great racing action today. Welcome everyone into our booth. There's the AMA champ right there to my right. MotoAmerica star Roger Hayden. I'm Robbie Floyd. And Jamie Howe's down trackside. Roger, we had day one. It's in the books. We had a great day in all five of our classes today. They'll get to see four. As you know, our first race of the day hits the track. It's the Twins Cup. Before I talk to you, let's send it down to Jamie Howe, who's now a two-day-old rookie into MotoAmerica. She's now a veteran in MotoAmerica. Jamie Howe, welcome back.
Pretty much just a rookie is what I still feel like, day number two. But I've absorbed a lot of information, and one of the things that I've learned is Rocco Landers, though he's only 15 years old, he is certainly one of the riders to keep an eye on, and for all of these guys to use as a benchmark. He feels a lot more comfortable today. They've dialed in some more changes on that bike. They're always progressing, so I definitely keep my eye on him.
Thank you, Jamie, and there's the 97. Hey, Rocco, look at him. He is going to be on the gas today. We saw him earlier in warm-ups in both of his classes, and I think he's ready to prove a point, Raj.
I think so, too. We talked about it earlier today. He's going to be a little bit disappointed with getting 2 seconds yesterday just because they were so close. And, it's kind of crazy to think that a 15-year-old can get second in 2 races and be disappointed. But he's, set the bar so high for himself. He's so talented. And I think today he's going to be a lot more aggressive. We've seen it this morning in a warm-up. He's got that championship pedigree where he's not happy with getting second yesterday, and he's going to try to win today, and I think he will.
But there's one guy, especially one guy. There's many guys, but one in Caleb DeCarroll that took the victory yesterday by the slimmest of margins, .002. It doesn't get much closer than that. And there's some of that limited mechanics grouping that we see. One person with one rider. You don't see a group of riders. And they also have kind of a quick start procedure for these guys as well.
Yes, it's the quick start procedure where they do the sighting lap, and then they come up and they stop at their grid spot, and only one crew member is allowed to be out there instead of the normal 10 minutes on the grid where you set with a couple crew members and they put the tire warmers back on, and some people have umbrella girls and things like that. But with everything going on, we can't do that, and that's okay with me as long as we're racing.
Now, that's quite the look right there. I mean, got to keep the sun off your head. Forget the hat. I've got the umbrella. Is that what umbrella dudes look like these days? Let's take a look back at yesterday's race in the Twins Cup. Good start by the 97. Rocco Landers was out in front, and he was that way actually for most of the race.
Yeah, he got a good start. He put his head down right away and got away and pretty much checked out.
Ooh, big wreck. That was in turn 5.
On the very first lap, so I think it was Trevor Stanish. He'll try to do better today, and like I said, you can see the lead that Rocco has. It stretched out to almost 2 to 3 seconds, and then once Caleb DeCarroll, you see here number 51, made a couple passes, went back and forth with the guys, and then once he cleared them, last couple laps, he put his head down and he chased down Rocco.
Well, the man he was in it with is Jason Madama. You saw him make the pass or battling it out. There he goes, making the pass, or trying to, is Jackson Blackman. That didn't happen. Madama stayed out in front. That might have been the pass actually there. They kept going back and forth. And here it is. DeCarroll finally caught up with Rocco Landers. I thought Rocco was pulling away right here, Roger, but that wasn't the case.
No, it wasn't. You can see right here, Caleb DeCarroll's bike is a little bit faster than Rocco's. He's going to use a slipstream, and here's to the checkered flag. Caleb pulls out just at a perfect time and barely nipped him at the line.
And that sometimes has been expected, and they didn't know, I don't think at that point, who had won, but for the most part, everybody thinks that Yamaha is the fastest, and Caleb DeCarroll does take the victory over the Suzuki of Rocco Landers. But as far as horsepower and power, the way it's put to the ground, most people think that Yamaha is the quickest. Is it usable power? On a fast track like this, you would probably think so.
I think this track, being faster, it's going to be a little bit better. And you'll see Rocco's a lot faster in the the handling of the Suzuki SV650 seems to be a little better because he's quicker in the middle part of the track that has more turns.
So about the start in this, thoughts for these guys as they prepare for their second days. What did they learn between day 1 and day 2? That's their one last chance to get a good hole shot and get a good feel for things, because next time around it'll be the real deal.
Yeah, for sure Caleb's going to try to get a better start today, because I don't think he's going to want to let Rocco get such a big lead, and if Rocco does, I don't think he's going to give it back today like he did yesterday. So Caleb's going to get a good start, and I think those two will definitely battle it out till the end.
Guys who had some difficulties yesterday going to get another opportunity. We talk about Trevor Standish having that wreck. He's coming back on the Pure Attitude Racing thing, machine. Sean Adams didn't get to even start yesterday, along with Teg Hobbs, Ray Hoffman, and Rodney Vest having difficulties, but they'll get their second opportunity today. That's a good thing about having two races. If you're a stock 1000 rider yesterday, you don't have that opportunity today, but these guys, they get to redeem themselves. Yeah,
that's such a cool thing about having these double headers. If you didn't have a good first race, if you didn't do as good as you wanted, or if you struggled, you have the opportunity to work overnight with your crew, make things better, and come out the next day and redeem yourself and try to leave the weekend, feeling satisfied.
Well, today's a new day, and weather-wise, an even better day. I don't even see a cloud in the sky, and it seems a little warmer. Let's go down to Jamie Howe with an update.
You're right. It's the consistency in the weather that is the big difference for today. So when these guys went out for their morning warm-up, the track temperature is within a degree or two of where they're at right now. Current track temperature is at about 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Tires are extremely happy in this temperature range. They shouldn't have to worry about a whole lot.
Track temp 82, ambient temperature in the 61, but it was down in the low 40s this morning, so it was cool, but things have been heating up. I think we're going to see faster times today, don't you?
I think so too, because the last couple of days we would the clouds would come in and temperatures would drop a little bit and the track would cool off. But today the sun's been shining all day, ever since the morning, ever since the warm-up, so the track has not cooled down any, and we're definitely going to see better lap times today, and I think we're going to see some closer racing because of it.
Look at this track and all of the twists and turns. 4.04 miles in length.
Also, this is a track that everybody loves coming to. It's one of the funnest ones on the whole tour that MotoAmerica goes to, with the long straightaways, and has a lot of elevation too.
Looking at the starting grid, find your favorite riders, people from around the country, around the world, spectating and watching. Welcome to MotoAmerica Live Plus. We're kicking off racing for this second day. We'll be on FS1 later on today with the Hano Superbike class, and I know Eurosport transmitting around England as well as France as well, but we've got a great race ahead of you. It's called Twins Cup. You're seeing a lot of Suzukis and Yamahas out there, that SV as well as that Yamaha. Both handle a little bit different. You talk about the handling abilities of the Suzuki maybe that Rocco Landers is on, but the Yamaha seem to have the horsepower. We'll find out which one's quicker today, because that's all you're going to see, Suzukis and Yamahas.
Yeah, Rocco yesterday was a lot faster in the carousel than the other guys. So, Caleb, they got out this morning in the warm-up and followed each other a little bit, played a few games, and trying to see what each other has.
Listen and watch. Here we go. Twins Cup is underway. Caleb DeCarroll with a good launch.
A lot better start today for Caleb DeCarroll, way better than yesterday, and I think he'll lead them down to turn one for sure, and Rocco's right there behind him, so these two are going to set out for a good battle.
Toby Komsuk, I saw him in there in the 27 as well, and I don't think Caleb was necessarily too concerned with getting the whole shot and being out in front, as long as he was up in that front one or two. That's what he was really looking for.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get caught in the battle and let Rocco pull away like he did yesterday, so now he's at the front of the race, and he can control the pace, but I expect Rocco to try to make a pass early and try to check out again.
Right here, maybe it's the first opportunity, first straightaway, and we'll see that power of the Yamaha.
Using the draft, hard braking into turn 5, and Rocco does make the pass.
Yep, he does. So the power of the Yamaha, not able to hold off the drafting power of that Suzuki. Let's go down to Jamie Howe.
Remember, we talked to Caleb DeCarroll after warm-up this morning, and he talked about Rocco Landers being able to get around him, but what opportunity that afforded him during the race yesterday was that he could watch him from back behind, and he could see where he was stronger, where he could improve. He figured that out just at the right moment to make that pass at the end of the race yesterday. So I wouldn't be too concerned right now with Rocco being ahead of him. Caleb's a smart racer. He studies the rider in front of him, and he could still make another one.
Exactly right. Yeah, you just want to be in that front pack. And Toby Komsuk up there in that third spot, I believe it is, starting to knock on the door, putting on the pressure. And I'm telling you, he's going to be one of the ones to watch out for this year.
Yeah, and you can see that was a part of the track where I was talking about where Rocco was a little bit faster than the other guys. And you can see he's already building the gap, and he has his head down. You can tell by the way he's riding. He's charging hard today. And, you know, Caleb better get going because there's a couple guys behind Caleb who's ready to make a move.
One of those being Jason Madama as well. You see him in that yellow and pink livery pulling out to that left side of the screen, the 213. Look for him. Syndicate Racing, Apex Assassins, Jason Madama working his way up. Again, he was on the podium yesterday. And there you go. You see Suzuki of the 97. That's Rocco Landers, second place on day one. American Racing Sport Bike TrackGear.com Suzuki. Caleb DeCarroll on the 1833 CJ Nose. Yamaha just behind him. Third place should be Toby Komsuk. And that's one of those Robum Engineering bikes that there are several of those in this class that have been really fast. Jackson Blackman and Badama are going elbow to elbow.
Yeah, we have a good battle for the second through third spot, and second through fifth, actually, and also Caleb. You can see the power of the Yamaha up the front straight. He passes Rocco pretty easy, and you know, Rocco needs to set behind him here, try to get a good run out of turn 3 and maybe make a pass where he did the last lap going into turn 5, and really put his head down through the middle part of the track where Rocco is better than Caleb, and try to make that break where Caleb can use that draft to catch back up.
Looking at the Twins Cup best time, you're seeing a couple of different best sectors. DeCarroll has a faster sector 1. It's Landers sector 3. Speed-wise, we're seeing 140 miles an hour. The lap record in the Twins Cup, that was yesterday's race, a 229.34. But the fastest overall was back in qualifying. The outright record, Caleb DeCarroll with a 228.90. I think we're going to get in that range today.
Yeah, I think we will for sure. Jackson Blackman actually made a pass getting down into turn 5, and I think he wants to go with the top 2 guys and, you know, not let them get too far away. See the long right-hander here. This carousel is where Rocco is so strong, and then driving out of here into this quick chicane where we talk about the Suzuki works better. It changes directions. You got a left and a quick right. And you can just see how fast Rocco is through there, and he's aggressive, using all the track. And you can visually see the gap that he pulls on Caleb just in that little section.
Listen to those bikes whining out. And you know, with Rocco Landers, he's enjoying riding the Twins Cup bike. You'll see him the Liqui Moly Junior Cup bike. He likes being able to twist that throttle and have that horsepower underneath him. But he said, he told us yesterday that he likes this one, but they ride very similar, other than, you know, a little bit more horsepower in the Twins.
Yeah, he said they were very close the way they handled and, you know, the size of them, but he likes the speed of the SV 650 has a little more top speed, and he likes that. And this is a track where, you know, with these long straightaways, you can really feel that extra speed, and that's what he likes.
This is without a doubt a speed track. You're going to see advantages throughout the day. The bikes that are faster, especially with the draft, will get some really crazy trap speeds. These guys just under 140 miles an hour. Jason Madama looked the quickest that last lap around as far as speed, 137.8. Rocco Landers, fastest lap of 228.92.
That was faster than he went yesterday.
That's only 2/100ths off the fastest lap ever here in this class, at this track, in this configuration.
And you can see the speed difference. That lap, Caleb DeCarroll in the front straightaway was 3.6 mile an hour faster than the Suzuki. So Rocco's going to have his hands full here just because there's so many straightaways, and the Yamaha is definitely quick.
Just the way that the bike's built. And again, do you want a bike that handles a little bit different or more your style? Do you want a bike that you may have to I don't know, be a little more firm with in places, but have that horsepower there when you have the opportunity? I know we talked about it between the Yamahas and the Suzukis last year in the Hano Superbike class. You saw those Suzukis, any given fast track, you knew that they would have an advantage. Here, that might be the case with the Yamaha, but handling beats horsepower a lot of the times.
It does, but on a track like this, it's probably better to have
the horsepower.
The horsepower, just because the straightaways are so long. And look at Jackson Blackman here, third, and his last lap was a 29.5, which is really fast, and he's catching up to Caleb, and he's definitely got the talent. He's a young guy who's really fast. He's getting his second season on the
you're seeing
twins
Jason
class.
Yeah, you're seeing Jason Madama trying to close in on Jackson Blackman there too. All those guys raced with each other last year, so they know what it's like being around them. There's a comfortability level, but without a doubt, this is an age group class where it's youngest in Rocco Landers at 15, and you have Carl Price also in this class that's considerably older. Let's just say by a decade or two or three.
Yeah, that's what's so cool about this class. You have a variety of all different riders. You got up and coming kids who are the future. You have just your normal club guys, and that's what's so cool about this class. It's kind of made for everybody, and it provides some really good racing every weekend.
Still seeing also Chris Parrish sneaking in, trying to get in that group of four, a former champ. Another guy to look for on the Yamaha. Don't count out the 128 AP Moto Arts Ghetto Customs rider. Madama, you see him, you see Blackman, you see Parrish.
Blackman just had the fastest lap of the race at 28.5, so he's definitely got his head down and charging to the front and wants to be in this battle for the win. He's starting to get a little bit of a gap on fourth place, so he's in a good spot now. He can probably be close enough to fill the draft to the top two, and hopefully him and Caleb can work together and keep Rocco in their sights.
So it shows you how that draft could play a factor. If that is truly correct, a 228.58, that smokes the previous circuit record of 28.90. So he beat it by half a second out there, and that shows you how fast Jackson Blackman is. And he rode last year a couple of rounds in the Twins Cup. Some people thought, well, he's good friends with Alex Dumas. Maybe he's helping him out. Maybe he's blocking. He ran it in there hard a time or two, but he really didn't try and mess up that championship points picture. Now he's the one racing for that championship points picture.
Yeah, he is, because he's doing the whole season. And last year, he was a junior cup rider, and then he moved up to the Twins Cup class, and it looks like he really enjoys the bigger bike, I think, and he's closed right up on these guys. He looks super comfortable on it, and I know he's a little bit disappointed with his performance yesterday, and he's definitely making a nice rebound today.
Yeah, the Jackson Blackman, the one to look for, number 18 on a Suzuki Robum Engineering sponsored rider, the third rider in that picture. He's putting pressure on yesterday's winner, Caleb DeCarroll. He has the track record that last circuit around. See if he gets a good draft. I think he wants to be in second. If he's feeling his oats, he'll get by DeCarroll on the first available straightaway, probably the front straightaway, and then try and set his sights on Rocco Landers. But getting by DeCarroll's another story on a straight.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for him. He's going to get a good run, on one of these straightaways here in Canada Corner. Caleb's really good on the brakes getting into Canada Corner, and he kind of closes that gap back up to Rocco where he pulls away a little bit. So this last part of the track is where Jackson Blackman seems not as good as the other guys. They kind of pull away a little bit, and he's a lot better on the first part of the track.
I saw Jackson straight line in that section there, and I actually think he actually made up time. Rocco's starting to feel it, isn't he? He's looking back. He wants to know where Caleb is. Caleb is getting in that draft. Looking up front. He might not be able to make a pass, or will he? Look at that. That is horsepower.
Yeah, that was definitely
wow.
That was a power move there.
That was a stump, but look who it helps. The 18's got a double wall in front of him. It's helping Action Jackson. Watch out for Blackman back there. DeCarroll now. Landers, Blackman 1, 2, and 3, and they have separated themselves just a little bit from Jason Madama. They start fighting, though. Madama and Parrish are going to get back in the mix.
Yeah, definitely. If they start dicing it up, he could slow down and let these other guys catch up. Or, if second and third starts battling, the guy in first can slip away if he can break the draft.
You want to get in a tuck. Look at that. Look at this on the inside. We're going to have a pass. Blackman going to the inside, trying to get underneath. Had to get on the binders extra hard, but he was letting Rocco know that he's there.
He was close.
Wasn't the opportune time right then. He was putting the pressure on, but you don't want to run it in there if you don't think you can make that turn.
No, he didn't want to force the issue and make a mistake, especially with still 4 laps to go. But you're going to see now, this is the part of the track where Rocco is a lot faster than Caleb, especially here's turn 8. A little better getting in, but when they get to this corner here, the carousel, you're going to see Rocco really run up on Caleb and even maybe go around the outside of him. He did this morning in the warm-up right through here, the carousel. You can see how fast he is through there. He's really strong through that part.
All that drive. Look at this trio. Couple different looks. Let's take a look at it. This is how they made the pass. This is that Yamaha with that horsepower trying to use a slingshot.
This is also a good test run for him for the last lap to see if he can get by him before the stripe. And he got by him a lot easier today. Yesterday he felt like he didn't get a good enough drive out of the last corner. Caleb did, that he wasn't going to get by him. So today he might just be sizing him up for the last lap.
And they'll see that same section here at about 2 or 3 turns. Canada corner, one of the most famous corners here at this track. Well, probably the most famous. There's DeCarroll. Man, he made some ground, didn't he?
Yeah, he's got a...
Let's see it here. Let's see with the Suzuki, because horsepower is good, but if you're leading that freight train, that Suzuki should be able to suck it up in there. And that's what Rocco Landers is really good at, is working with the draft. He won a couple of races here last year doing just that.
And also up the front straightaway today, we have a headwind, so the guy in the leader's going to push a little bit more wind, and you can tell Rocco's tucked in as tight as he can, trying to get every draft that he can, and Jackson Blackman's going to come by Rocco here in the turn 1 under the brakes.
And used all of that. Once he negotiated that pass, he pushed Rocco wide. Rocco had to kind of let him take over that position. Now, I don't think, has Rocco been in 3rd place? He hasn't been all week, has he?
I don't think so.
So now he doesn't have one, but he has 2 guys to work with, and Rocco knows Jackson Blackman. He raced with him last year in the juniors. Now he's getting to race with him in the twins. And is it really, out of this 3-rider group here, is the guy in second actually the fastest? They actually put a new motor, I believe, in that bike after yesterday had a little puff of smoke, so they were pulling it out. I'm not sure if they went back with parts or a whole new motor altogether, but if that's a freshie, it's running fast. Rocco takes over second once again, dropping Blackman back to 3rd in the 18.
You see Caleb DeCarroll made a little bit of a mistake getting into turn 6, and here you go. You see Jackson. He pulls out perfect timing on Rocco, makes the pass pretty easy under the brakes. And
look how wide he pushes him, though. I mean, that gets iffy if you're the guy getting passed.
It was a little close.
You saw the little wiggle out of Rocco Landers as well, but here's him getting it back.
Yeah, taking back second. One of the best places to pass going down into turn 5, and Rocco's really solid on the brakes through there.
Yeah, that was a comfortable pass. He wasn't out of control or having to back it in, sliding or nothing. Rocco's keeping the throttle on more, throughout. I think the abrupt nature of that Yamaha, it's just the way it is. You have to ride with it. Would you rather have that horsepower and be abrupt, or would you rather have a little more of a smooth delivery of that Suzuki?
You can see on the corner entry in a couple spots, too, Caleb DeCarroll has a little bit of the rear end's moving more compared to the 2 guys behind him. See right through here, kind of moving around a little bit on the entry, and these guys close right up.
But right there coming out of that turn's where it usually should help DeCarroll, and that looks like that may be the case there. A little bit more of an advantage. We'll see coming down that front straightaway one more time here in just a bit. Just how it plays out. Rocco a little bit closer this time, and watch the exit. A little tighter. I think he's going to get a better draft.
He got a good run that time. Rocco got a really good run. So we're going to see what the Suzuki has right here.
Yeah, this should give you the best opportunity, because I don't know you're going to get a much better run than that, and DeCarroll's just holding him off.
No, if Rocco's going to win this race, he's going to have to win it from the front.
So the pass is one thing. You saw he was able to make ground and pull up next. He wasn't able to get by before the stripe. He may be able to do it with 2 laps to go. This next time is probably his best opportunity. Do it taking that white flag, because you only have about 1 lap and 3/4 left here in this race.
Yeah, this is where Rocco's actually made a couple passes, getting a good drive out of turn 3, and going to get in the slipstream and see if he can't draft up beside him and try to outbrake him going into turn 5.
It's a three-man race. This looks like your podium unless somebody goes down. Jason Badama back there in fourth. Parrish and Komsuk in there in fourth, fifth, and sixth. But you can see that fourth and fifth battle still raging. But for the podium, it's going to be these three unless something bad happens.
See this next corner, turn 6. This is where Caleb has a little bit of trouble getting in. See that?
Yep.
Turns in a little early.
Is he doing it because he knows he can pull out harder?
I don't know. I mean, maybe he's just having a problem getting in. But since he turns in a little early, you know, it kind of kills his drive on the exit.
Right. And boy, look at that. The 97 runs it in. Not the place to make it right there. Hard left, driving back uphill. You're seeing Blackman back there. Looks like him almost biding his time. He's looking for one slingshot this lap. Maybe a slingshot to the finish to take the win. Two different lines going through the carousel. Good run by Rocco Landers. Watching them coming out. They're going to hit the chicane. Doesn't go to the inside.
He got a good run, but he just wasn't close enough.
Like Rocco might have made that turn a little bit late that time.
Caleb just seems like he's controlling the race. He knows where his bike's the strongest, and you know, he's using those on these. And Jackson here is going to try to draft by Rocco, but these two guys cannot get in a battle with each other. If not, they're definitely going to let Caleb pull away and not have a chance.
It's hard picking that pass into Canada corner. You can do it, but you'd rather have a good run, and you saw how Rocco took it all the way to the grass. To make that pass, you really almost have to hope that the rider gives you that inside, and Rocco's too smart for that.
Exactly.
Good drive once again to Carroll. Good line on exit. This is coming to take the white flag. One more lap to go. DeCarroll is using that Yamaha horsepower up that finish line straight. And he is starting to pull away. This had better be his fast lap. Look at that difference, Roger.
Yeah, you can definitely visually see on the straightaway him pulling away. And, you know, he's got half a second this lap. So Rocco and Jackson are really going to put their heads down and definitely not battle with each other if they want to, you know, close the gap to Caleb and fight for the win. If not, they're going to be battling it out for second and third.
Caleb DeCarroll, a Texan now. I believe he's originally from Minnesota, but he practices a lot with Garrett Gerloff. And you know Gerloff's here in attendance, the world superbike rider, former super sport champ. And his boy is looking good and just pulling away. The race now looks to be for second. Jackson Blackman going to the inside. Watch out for the 18. He thought about it, then he thought better of it. I don't think that was, I think that was a great decision.
Great decision. He was a little too far back to make the pass.
So he's going to have a couple of more opportunities. DeCarroll's trying to pull away, or is he? Rocco knows he only has a few more turns to make it happen as well. Look at him using all of that curbing, all of that runoff that they can.
Yeah, Rocco's definitely just had his fastest first sector, so he's pushing really hard. And this is the part of the track that I always keep saying that Rocco's better than Caleb. So if he's going to make a pass, which is a really hard pass to make, it needs to be through the carousel or get a good run out of the carousel headed into the next chicane.
It's not going to happen in the carousel. Too much time to make, but can he get a good drive coming out? Look at that.
Look
on exit. On exit. Close it up. If he goes to the left, it's going to be an inside move. He's staying there. He's trying to go underneath. He looked like he was, and then Caleb just had too much speed, but Caleb looks like he's blocking. He gave it up. He was trying to block so much, he pushed wide. Now it's Rocco Landers with 97 out in front with only about a third of a lap to go.
The Yamaha is just, you know, it's a little too quick in a straight line.
It's overpowered him now. Watch another blocking line going into Canada corner, and it's going to help Jackson Blackman. Blackman's got to get one before he can get the other. Caleb DeCarroll gives up that inside. He's going to get a good drive out. Now watch going to only a few more turns remain. Which one of these three riders is going to win it?
Rocco needs to have the best two corners of his life if he wants to win this race and get the best drive possible up this front straightaway. And I don't think he has it.
Rocco Landers gets a wiggle, a big wiggle. Can the Yamaha make it up? He can only make one move when he's out in front like that. DeCarroll pulls to the side. DeCarroll pulls away. Can Rocco get another draft?
No,
Here comes Blackman. Holy moly. Caleb DeCarroll takes the win. A frustrated Rocco Landers, and Jackson Blackman thought he was going to get that double draft. It didn't happen. He's going to finish third. Wow, what a race. Madama, Parrish, Komsuk rounding out that fourth, fifth, sixth position. That's the way we do it here in MotoAmerica, Roger.
What a race by all three of those guys, and especially Jackson Blackman on that last lap, closing the gap. giving himself a chance.
Watch what happens here towards the end. I thought Rocco had a good chance, but these guys were making a few mistakes towards the end.
Yeah, Rocco just looks like he ran a little bit wide here on the exit, gets on the other side of the curb, and just kind of killed his drive a little bit.
He was running out of tire, Raj. He had that thing at full lean, and there's the difference, about a bike and a half. And look there at the end. Again, it's a photo finish, but Rocco by 0.0041, 4 thousandths of a second ahead of Jackson Blackman. Wow. That was close. Thumbs up by DeCarroll, and he knows he won that time. I mean, give it to Rocco. He pushed, and that time it was pushed too hard because he was almost, that back end was trying to come around on it.
There's nothing else Rocco Landers could have did that race. I mean, he took his shots where he had them and rode aggressive, but he just couldn't make up for the top speed that he's lacking, and he's got to settle for second today. But definitely a great race by Rocco, and like I said, there's nothing else he could have did to win that race.
We don't know how long Rocco Landers is going to be racing here in the States. Again, he was scheduled to, he was signed up to race the Red Bull Rookies on the world stage, but he's coming back as a Liqui Moly Junior Cup champion, getting to defend that #1 plate. Also, last minute pickup, American Racing, SportBikeTrackGear.com, Suzuki coming along, helping him literally last second for Landers. But hey, I don't know CJ, but I know 1-833 CJ knows how to win.
He knows how to win at MotoAmerica for sure. But what about Jackson Blackman? Give him some credit. What a nice rebound he made from yesterday's race. Was a little bit further back than he wanted to be, and fastest lap of the race, I think.
And Robum Engineering, again, they got that bike back and put together today. Even slower this photo finish. Look how close. And you can't see it on the inside. I can't tell. It looks
like Jackson Blackman passed Rocco.
Yeah, it looks like it is. And, I can call it like I see it, and I see what I'm seeing. Sometimes also that the timing stripe is at a certain spot that might be slightly different than
no, they changed it. Look, they updated it. Look
okay, they did change. And they go back and they review that. So Jackson Blackman does finish second. Again, it's still unofficial until they post those scores. But, yeah, on our timing and scoring now, it does change by 1/1000th. I know there's not 1,000. 1,000th of a second. Rocco Landers drops back to third. And I'd seen that before. I've seen it at transponder positions in other racing. I remember calling an IndyCar race in Texas, and it looked like somebody won. And we looked back, and, oh, that's not right. They had the transponder upside down, and it actually bounced off of something before it got down to the timing stripe. But that was a heck of a race.
It was a
Rocco,
great race.
Caleb, Jackson, they all three have to be happy. That was a racer's race.
That was a good race. We didn't know headed to the stripe which one was going to win it. And, these guys got to racing and let Jackson close up a little bit, and he almost stole the victory from him.
And if you thought Rocco Landers was going to be disappointed with second place, what do you think he's going to be with third? Here's your results in the Twins Cup race number 2. Caleb DeCarroll, now Jackson Blackman into second. Rocco Landers, your top 3. And I think it came down to horsepower. DeCarroll definitely had it on that Yamaha. He was showing the dominance, the strength of that power. Somewhere Robert Fisher smiling a mile wide. Robert's a bigger boy, so if he was on that bike, yeah, you can see what it can do with the lighter power pad. That's not a knock on Robert, but it is what it is. Trevor Standish able to get things going back again. Good to see him in the top 10. There's your championship points. 14 arrears is Rocco Landers, but hey, this is a long series. A lot of races still ahead. This is our first of 10 stops.
Yeah, there's the whole season that just started. So, you can't win the championship the first weekend, but you can definitely lose it. So all these guys got a good start to the year, and this is something that they can build on.
What a day. Unfortunately, we didn't have fans to see it on site in person, but we welcome everybody that are watching on MotoAmerica Live Plus, and thank you for watching on MotoAmerica Live Plus, because we are happy to be the first two-wheel racing group to go out there on one of the world's best stages in Road America. Let's sit it down to Park Fermé and Jamie Howe with our podium.
And we're going to start off with our race winner. It is Caleb DeCarroll for the second race in a row. We talked about it. We covered this battle. Today wasn't as hard of a job for you from the outside looking in, but there was a lot of competition. Talk us through what you were thinking.
Yeah, honestly, everybody's riding really good, and I had to work my butt off. This race, I actually got a good start, which was the main thing I was focused on. So I got out good and just tried to put my head down and keep pushing. And Rocco caught me at the end there, or I don't know if he was there the whole time or what was going on, but I was just like trying as hard as I could. So, but anyways, yeah, I just pushed as hard as I could, and the 1833 CJ Knows Yamaha MT-07 was working awesome out there. I just couldn't put together a more perfect weekend for how hard I've been working and training. So I just got to give a huge thank you to my crew that helped me do this. Roaring Toys, Patrick put a ton of time into putting this bike together and getting it running perfect. My Uncle Ryan came out here to help me out this weekend, so having family here was awesome. And he helped pack my gate at my first ever Pro Motocross National, and he got to witness my first pole position and an amazing weekend here at Road America. So thank you guys for watching on the MotoAmerica Live Plus, and I hope we made it exciting for you.
Congratulations. Let's move over to Hannah Lopa with second.
Second place today goes to Jackson Blackman. Jackson, you had quite the battle with Caleb and Rocco to the line there. Tell us about it.
Yeah, you know, it was a really fun race. The whole weekend we've been really developing the bike and getting the setup dialed in. So finally yesterday we got all the issues worked out for today. Unfortunately, I had to do a motor swap last night, so the bike was running a lot better today. I knew I could run up front, so I got a way better start, way more aggressive first couple laps. Had to work pretty hard there in the middle of the race to catch those two, but once I was there, I just tried to lay back and kind of see how it was going to work out and just kind of set it up for the last turn there. You know, the Yamahas are strong here, but I think we got the best result that we could today. So I got to give a huge thank you to the whole Rovum engineering team. They've been working so hard, you know, up till midnight last night, getting the bike back together. HJC, Blood Lubricants, Millennium Technologies, Velocity Calibrations, K-Tech. You know, we've come a long way with the suspension set up for the bike. So, yeah, I'm just super pumped to be back up on the podium.
Congratulations, Jackson Blackman. Over to Jamie with our third place finisher.
It's certainly respectful racing that was happening out on the racetrack, but I'm sensing a little bit of a rivalry building here. Rocco Landers, talk about this competition. What more did you need in the race today?
I don't know, on like lap 3, my rear tires started to go on the right side, so I was just slipping, sliding, and I came around and I'm like, oh my God, 4 more laps. And I just tried to hang on as well as possible, and Caleb got by me, and I just tried to hang on to him, and he got away from me a couple more times. So I was trying to hang on to him. My original strategy was to try to get him down the back straight, but I wasn't able to do that, so I was just like, I'm just going to try to pass him wherever I can. And on that last lap, last corner, just got to a big slide, ran off onto the other side of the curbing, and then he got by me, and then Jackson got by me too, so happy for both of them. A little bit disappointed for myself, but I'll come back next round.
Podium finishes to start off. Here is our victory lane for the second race of 2020.
Wow. And a perfect weekend for Caleb DeCaro, right, Raj? I mean, that's the way you want to leave it, right? Let's take a look at the highlights of this perfect weekend.
Yeah, I mean, right off the start, Caleb got a lot better start than he did yesterday. He said that was his main goal, and he definitely did that.
Great start by him. Yeah, he said, yeah, I got a better start today. But you see Jackson Blackman also with a good start. He's back there in 5th at this point. He was able to work his way up. But Rocco and Caleb went back and forth, and then you let somebody else get in the mix at that speed, then it can kind of, get in both of your heads for a bit.
Yeah, they went back and forth and slowed each other up a little bit, but also Jackson Blackman rode a good race. He put his head down, had the fastest lap of the race. You can see him here in the slipstream, and this is when he's catching these guys.
Yeah, when both of those guys pull side by side, you're making a wall out in front. You see Blackman right there take advantage, move over onto Rocco, and take over that spot. Rocco would come back and get it. I mean, these guys went back and forth throughout.
Yeah, here Rocco makes another pass going into turn 5, and He has his sets on Caleb. He knows where Caleb. He makes a good pass right here up the inside and tried to kill Caleb's drive, and he still got a good one out. And these two going back and forth like this let Jackson catch up and,
slid by at the very end. And look at that, the advantage they had, all three of them coming across in literally no time. I think 82 1,000ths differential between the first and third. Chase Madama popping wheelies like mad. Finishes fourth just off the podium. Here's a look at today's schedule. Of course, we did the Twins Cup race. We've still got the Hono Superbike, the Super Sport, and the Liqui Moly Junior Cup. Man, I can't wait for those other three races, Raj. I know the other crew's going to take over and run that show, but I can't wait for the race. Will we see another repeat of yesterday? Because Cameron Beaubier might have been fast, but that race behind was amazing.
Yeah, it was, and Cameron had some issues this morning in the warm-up, the bike running, so who knows if he has that fixed.
We'll figure it out here very shortly. 3 more races to go at MotoAmerica from Road America.